Hey friends, welcome to Post to Post. It's Neil here, Jersey Concept Friday. I've got something special for you. We've got 90's Stadium Series concepts. These are by a designer called Balco Creative. I think it is. Just let me double check. Yeah, Balco Creative. And he's come up with 39 files. I'm going to say files because the naming convention of the files is a little bit different than I'm used to, but there's at least 32 NHL jerseys in there plus more, so it's going to be a bit of a surprise for you and me. I've not seen these either. So let's jump in and let's take a look. Sorry, I got to bring it up on my screen here. I was not prepared. Let's go. All right, kicking it off with Anaheim, and what a great start, honestly. I really like the amount of yellow that's in here. That was a little bit unexpected. Usually they use that kind of muddy gold color or like a bronze, but that is not in here anywhere, and I like the yellow. Like the yellow complements the purple or the eggplant very well. It complements the green very well, and obviously the white. So it's kind of like a bit of a nice addition in here, honestly. Now, the striping is pretty bold, but this is Stadium Series, remember. So all these concepts should be relatively in your face. And these are 90's kind of themed concepts. So that means that the colors should be probably pretty vibrant throughout this entire series. That's at least what I'm expecting. We can see that here. We've got the gradient as well. I think this is a great start. I really like this concept, this uniform. I thought these were jerseys, but these are uniforms. Good stuff. Moving on. Arizona. That's honestly really nice. It's not what I was expecting at all, but I love, again, a color that Arizona, I can't say doesn't, I'll say didn't. A color that Arizona didn't use, which is a very, very light, vibrant, almost sky blue. It complements those other colors very well. I love the transition in the arms. We got the orange with a bit of that pinstriping, and then it goes back into the burgundy. And then at the top, it's not just a flat stripe. It's the outline of like the top of a mountain range, or, that's, if you think about Arizona, makes total sense. So I love that, actually. It is vibrant. It is bold. I like it. It's good. Next, the Boston Bruins. Original 6 team, but this is Stadium Series. Look at the very transparent slashes in the shoulders and the bottom of the jersey. You don't notice them right away because of the big yellow and, or we'll say gold and white slashes that make up the striping. But those transparent ones, those are the little additional things that I really appreciate, as well as the numbers. Those are maybe a little bit difficult to see, but they match the same like thematic of the striping. So it's good. Another good one. Buffalo. Ooh, okay. This is probably going to be a miss for me immediately, just based on the two. You're bringing 2 generations of Buffalo Sabres branding together with the colors. We've got the yellow and the blue, and then we've got the red and the black and the white and stuff. So both are amazing individually. When you combine them like this, personally, it doesn't work for me, so this would be a miss for me. Calgary, yeah, look at the amount of colors that are in here. We've got a stage gradient happening in the stripes, even around the logo. Like, that is very Stadium Series. You can absolutely see that. So, and the gloves as well. Like, look at the gloves. Yeah, another good one. Good stuff. Carolina. The logo for sure, because it's got just a little bit more of a personality. That is something we would expect in a Stadium Series. Numbers on the shoulders. A lot of the other ones have had the same thing. But the striping is throwing me off a little bit. It's too distracting for me personally. It completely takes away from the logo. The logo primary color is black, which is kind of blends in with the rest of the jersey because the jersey is black. So maybe if the Canes was in a red, that might be the primary element of the jersey. But for me, it's the striping, and it's a bit too distracting. Next, the Chicago Blackhawks, and that is a big stripe. I almost said Dallas Stars because I saw that star on the jersey. So technically, Chicago can use stars because they're on the city flag. We've seen that a little bit, but I think the star is too big on the jersey. It reminds me of the Dallas Stars, the late 90's star jersey, which is one of the greatest jerseys ever. So it's not that this jersey doesn't look good or doesn't look Stadium Series. It looks very Stadium Series. It's just that it reminds me too much of Dallas. And I think they own the big giant star on a jersey. Like, if that was a copyright or a trademark thing, Dallas would own it. So we'll say this is not a miss, but not a hit for me. Colorado, okay, so great colors. The foot logo, I talked about that recently as a primary logo. Not a huge fan of it. I would expect the numbers on the shoulders for this one. I think just because those, the color and the striping comes up so high on the arm. My biggest concern with this is what's happening behind the logo and coming down. So obviously that is a puck leaving the stripes and forming the transition from blue to burgundy, which is a good idea. But it looks like a medal, like that you would be awarded at the Olympics. And now that I've seen that, I can't unsee it. So every time I look at this jersey, I don't see a puck, I see a medal on, So, again, not a hit, but not a miss. This is a hit, Columbus. I love it. I love the vibrancy of that kind of neon yellow. That is amazing. Nice little subtle stripes, subtle stars in the background, complemented with the brighter stripes. This is great. This is exactly what I would expect from a Stadium Series from Columbus. This is amazing. Moving on to Dallas. Okay, so we got a bit of a shooting star aspect here, using the logo as the star. You can see that replicated in the striping on the arms as well. That's an interesting idea, actually. I like that a lot. Very Stadium Series. I think even honestly plausible. Good stuff. Speaking of not so plausible in the opposite respect, I cannot see a world or universe where this would be a plausible option for Detroit, whether it's in 2 years from now, whether it's in 20 years from now. Detroit is the most traditional hockey brand maybe ever. I'm sure there's maybe a couple in the KHL who've really never changed their stuff in maybe forever as well, but still, like, Detroit they're so traditional that I just can never see something like this. It's way too bold for Detroit. So I like it. I love the gradient. I love the purple. I love the relationship with the octopus. That's all great. I just don't think it's plausible. So I have to say no, just based on that. But I really like the uniform entirely. Edmonton. Okay, so interesting oil drops, oil spill kind of coming off the shoulders. I kind of like that, actually. It's very Stadium Series. Numbers as well. Maybe a little bit too much drippage on the numbers, but I think the biggest thing for me is honestly the logo. I'm not really a big fan of that logo, so maybe just change the logo and we're good. We got Florida here. I was expecting something like this, but a very muted, almost coral-looking colors. The pink isn't super vibrant. It's desaturated. Same with the blue. It's a little bit more saturated, but still very 90s, very Stadium Series. Different logo completely. Like, you wouldn't even know that this was the Florida Panthers if you weren't looking for it. But yeah, it's pretty good. I kind of like it. LA, absolutely. Yep, 100%. This is great. Wouldn't change a thing. Honestly, this is a fantastic uniform. Next, Minnesota. I can see the jersey 100% with Stadium Series, the pants, the gloves, the helmet, the socks losing me a little bit. I think it's a little bit too much with the socks. It becomes almost like a roller hockey kind of uniform or something. But yeah, maybe change the socks. But I like the jersey. That's very Stadium Series. Montreal. Montreal, Vincent Damphousse. I haven't been looking at the names. Mellenby for Florida, Gretzky, Gaborik. Vincent Damphousse. He played for Montreal in the 90s. He was their captain, I believe, after Pierre Turgeon left. Anyways, yeah, like the Montreal's traditional brand. So this is not that far off from what they currently use, other than the switch between the red and the blue and the jersey, and then the gradient in the striping. The general jersey design and the uniform design is relatively the same. It's just the colorization. So I think this is actually probably acceptable or plausible. So even though it's not my favorite concept that I've seen from Montreal in terms of uniform, it's not bad. So yeah, I like it. Okay, Nashville. Yes, I think this is plausible. Don't like the numbers though. Like, the missing negative space of the 9 and the loopy circle part. Gotta have that, I think. Other than that, yeah, it's a nice uniform. Okay, the Devils. Absolutely, this is very Stadium Series. I love what's happening here on the arms. We've got that kind of tail coming up and the number sitting in the tail. So maybe this is an instance where, you know what, the numbers are better on the arm than they were on the shoulder for Stadium Series. It's good, I like it. We've got the Islanders here, orange as the primary color. Pierre Turgeon, ironically, was chosen for this one. I love the amount of teal that's being used. Maybe a little bit too much crazy wave action in the middle, but it's not bad. I like it. The Rangers, love the green in there. I think that is great. However, I'm not a big fan of the primary color of the jersey being red, as well as the pants. So either we invert the socks, so red is on top and blue is on bottom, and make the pants blue. I think that's probably the best choice here. Or we flop it on the jersey. We make the primary color blue, the bottom of the jersey where the blue is now red, and keep the pants red. Right now, I think there's too much red in the uniform personally, but yeah. All right, let's move on. Ottawa, wow. I kind of like the shoulders. That is I like to see this exist. This is one of those jerseys where I'm like, man, if this existed, I wonder what that would look like. I love the gradient and the striping. I love the gradient in the bottom of the jersey, transitioning nicely to the pants. The socks don't match at all, so I'm not a big fan of that. I would just prefer regular socks. I know it's trying to match like the arms, but it works with the arms because you've got that gradient transition. Where in the socks, it's so harsh it looks like he's just wearing two wrong socks or two mismatching socks. So I'm a little conflicted there. Moving on to Philadelphia. I mean, yeah, sure. This is very Stadium Series, honestly. I don't love that the jersey design comes underneath the logo, at the bottom of the logo, and the top of that kind of design. I don't like that they're touching, but other than that, yeah, it's actually a pretty cool uniform design. Next, Pittsburgh. Okay, City of Bridges, so I can see that in there. I like the blue, so actually incorporating the water underneath the bridge as the original blue color from 1967. We can see that in the logo as well. We can see that in the numbers. It might be a little bit too bridge heavy, but the rest of the jersey design is actually fantastic. It is phenomenal. I really like it. I love with the striping, the arms, the logo, the socks. Yeah, it's good. Moving on, San Jose. Absolutely, I love the orange. That is amazing. I love the orange socks as well. And you can see the shark kind of in the striping coming through. That's pretty neat. This is very 90s. I like it. Seattle, big giant Seattle logo kind of just disappearing in the abyss of the blue at the bottom of the jersey. I like that a lot. And then the red complements everything nicely. Got the tentacles kind of coming up. This is so Stadium Series. So yeah, I like this. Wow, St. Louis. Okay, Brett Hall here. I think it goes too hard. It's too much for me. It is very Stadium Series, but it's almost too Stadium Series for me. This one would personally be a miss. Tampa Bay. Yeah, okay. I think maybe if you removed the silver stripe from the middle of the jersey, keep it in the arms, but just from the middle of the jersey, let that logo kind of breathe in the middle. I think I'd like it more, but it's a nice uniform actually for Stadium Series. Toronto Maple Leafs. Wow, this is interesting. It almost looks like a Team Canada jersey. If you switch this to red instead of blue and remove like the Toronto Maple Leafs logo, it would kind of look like an Olympic Canadian jersey or uniform rather. But I like it. I like the light blue with the dark blue. That complements very nicely. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It almost is like a little bit Winter Classic in a way. But yeah. Okay, well, speaking of Winter Classic a little bit, so Vancouver, if they were going to go with the Stadium Series jersey and use this design, no. However, this is 90s themed. What jersey did the Vancouver Canucks use in the 90s? Well, they used this one. So we've got Pavel Bure on there. So the striping has been increased. It is a little bit angular in the middle, which pays back to their history a little bit. So in terms of 90s, Stadium Series, hypothetically, yes. But in terms of now, I would say this is not plausible. Next, the Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah, sure. I mean, you've got some of the lights of Vegas there in the striping. You've got the secondary logo as the primary here. This is fine. Maybe put the numbers on the shoulders, but yeah, this is good. Wow, Washington. Okay, so this is what I was talking about with the naming convention. Usually Winnipeg comes before Washington, so he or she has renamed the files a little bit differently, so I'm assuming Winnipeg's going to be next. But anyways, Washington, as kind of implausible as this is, I like it. I don't necessarily like how high that striping is, or that the division between pink and the black. If we move that stripe down, I know it removes it from the back of the logo, but if we just move it down and let that logo breathe a little bit, I think that would be better. It's honestly pretty great. I kind of like it. It's just so different than the NHL. Okay, so Winnipeg should be next. Okay, yes, this is Winnipeg. 100%. Absolutely, this is exactly what I would expect from a Stadium Series jersey from Winnipeg. This is great. Yeah, really great. Probably a sublimation print for the most part, and maybe just the jet is an actual like crest. I don't know, but I like it. And the numbers too. Numbers are perfectly done for Stadium Series. Okay, from here on out, this is going to be a surprise. Oh, okay. Winnipeg Jets 2.0, it says along the bottom. Atlanta Thrashers. Kovalchuk on the back. So this is, I guess, a combination of two of their jerseys in a way. It is okay. We're missing the best part, which is that arm. Because of the way that this concept or this template is, we're missing like the juicy parts of the arm there where all that blue is. So I think this is okay. So we'll say yeah, okay. This is a hit. Next, the Hartford Whalers. Yep, this, if the Hartford Whalers were going to have a Stadium Series and be a little bit goofy with it in bold, why not put Pucky in there underneath not underneath, but behind the waves, kind of coming up out of the water. Sure. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty cool, actually. Next, the Minnesota North Stars. Wow. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Like, this is so good. I would spend an enormous amount of money for this jersey that is Northern Lights themed with stars on. Yes, absolutely. Like, this is fantastic. I love this. Quebec Nordiques. Okay, so this is very close to the brand that they almost went to if they had have stayed in Quebec. They went to Colorado just prior to changing their entire branding design, rather. There's pictures of it if you want to go see it on the internet, but the colors that you see are from that. The little like spikiness is from that. The logo is different. That's their traditional logo, just recolorized. So Stadium Series in the 90s, Quebec Nordiques, actually plausible. Next, the Winnipeg Jets 1.0. So this is the original Winnipeg Jets if they were going to do a Stadium Series. Yeah, I mean, gradient-wise, that's very 90s. The logo is very 90s with the gradient in there. It's quite white, but it's just, I'd have to see it in person to make a final decision, I think, because it's so bright and white. But yeah, let's move on. Western All-Stars. This is cool. Very reminiscent of the 1994 All-Star game, I think it was, with the star on there. I might be mistaken. Maybe it was 95. But this is pretty good. I like the colors, actually. This, again, something kind of like the Florida one. Or it wasn't Florida. It's Washington. That, we don't get a lot of purple. We don't get a lot of pink in the NHL. We don't get any pink in the NHL. So it's kind of nice to have something different. And then the Eastern All-Stars. And this is, this is pretty great. It's kind of a ridiculous jersey because of the star in the background. But it's an All-Star jersey. And it's got just a regular NHL logo on the front. The colors are very vibrant from the 90s. Yeah, sign me up. All right. Oh, that's it. Okay, that's it. So in terms of my favorite, there's so many good ones in here. Like, I got to give a shout out to the Minnesota North Stars. That one was just so good. I think I picked like the Pittsburgh one. If we bridged it down a little bit, I think that's a phenomenal jersey. And in terms of the other ones, like, there's like the ones that we saw at the beginning, like Anaheim was really, really good. Arizona was really, really good. Like that, I could easily give that as my favorite. Boston was really good as well. I think I'm gonna go. I want to limb here a little bit, and I want to see this from Columbus. So I'm gonna pick Columbus as my favorite because I think like Columbus has played it relatively safe for the most part in the last 15 or so years, or maybe more. But if they were coming up with a Stadium Series and they wanted to be bold and it was going to be 90s themed, this is it. Like, this is it. And I think this would sell really well, too, as a jersey. And it's just a bold uniform. So, yeah, I liked it. So, Balco Creative, actually, wonderful designs here in this entire lot of uniforms that you've created. Thank you so much for sending these in. I had a blast looking at them. If you guys got a couple of minutes, let me know down below in the comment section what was your favorite uniform from this video. Did you like that this designer included some extras in here, not just the 32 NHL teams, but some extras, a couple of throwbacks? Is that something you want to see from future designers? Let everyone know down below in the comment section. Hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend. It is a long weekend here in New Brunswick, where I live in Canada. I'm not sure if there are other provinces celebrating their holiday on Monday, but if this is a long weekend for you, like it is for me, I hope you enjoy it and you've got something fun planned. Thanks for watching once again, and hope you guys have a great start to your weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Adios.